Hi, Dr. Ben. Hopefully you are doing well. I wanted to make this video kind of as an overview of what to do in Google Ads. What we're going to do today is we're going to build out a implant campaign. I just kind of want to show you a couple things on the Google side and a couple things that I look for. Kind of to start off, well, first off, account isn't active. That's totally fine. We just hit reactivate, follow the instructions. I think we need someone, either you or the front desk, to add a contact here. So I'll go ahead and let you guys take care of that. But before we kind of jump into campaigns, there's really two types of campaigns on Google. There's search campaigns as well as smart campaigns. Smart campaigns essentially give Google all the control that they need to really just show your ads to as many people as possible. So what we usually do is we create one campaign for ourselves or a couple in search, create one smart campaign, and just try and figure out which one works better. Smart campaigns are really simple to set up. You really just need your URL, a couple keywords. It's not very complex. So we're just going to do everything from the search campaign, and all that is going to apply, or it's going to be more than enough information for the smart campaigns. So to set up a new campaign, we're going to go ahead and click that blue button. And if you'll notice, the first thing that we do is Google really wants to take as much control as possible. So they're really going to push us to pick an objective here. But we're actually going to click this down here, create a campaign without a goals guidance. And then from here, we're going to pick a search. The reason being is, Google really wants to, obviously it's a business. They want to make more money. Google's a great company, but obviously you just got to be careful when you're setting everything up. And again, here, we're not going to select anything here. Google just wants to continue to find ways to push our ads out. So we're just going to do search, then implants, continue. And then in terms of a bidding strategy, our ultimate goal is to eventually get to conversion value. So once we have enough data in this account, we're going to set a kind of like a target CPA, or cost per acquisition. And we're telling Google, hey, it should cost us, $100 to get a lead. And once we allocate that budget aside, that's usually the best way to do it. But when we're starting out, the other best option is conversions. This is grayed out because we need to set up conversion tracking on our landing page. So far, just for the purposes of this video, we're going to click on clicks, but we're going to go back and change that later. Then moving on, Google has done a celebrity of selecting to include their search partners as well as their display network, and they really want us to do that. But again, Google's business, they want to make some more money. So we're just going to leave. We're going to unclick those. And if you're seeing this video now, years from now, and you're trying to set this up and it looks totally different, usually what the process is the same. Google changes things, it seems, at least maybe once a month on how everything looks. So if this is looking different, then don't be concerned. It's usually set up the same way. And then here we're going to enter the location of the practice. And then if this is having troubles, we're just going to actually drop a pin. So let me go ahead and set that up. All right, so to catch you up, all we did was hit advanced search, and then we set up a radius. This is usually what we split test. For the one we have here, this does say 20 miles. I thought it said 5. We usually set, depending on the location, anywhere from 15 to 3 miles. So what I suggest is starting, especially for this location, starting at 5 miles, and then either dialing that back or dialing that back up, depending on the results. So that's just something to keep in mind there. Let me change that back. Perfect. So we have it set to 5 miles. And then for target and what to exclude, we want people that are in or regularly in the target location, and then exclude. This is one of the few times they're recommended is the best option there. For languages, we can just leave that blank. And then audience segments, this isn't really necessary with local-based marketing. If we were Walmart, for example, and we were running, trying to get people to buy shirts, then this might come into play. But for our limited audience, just within anywhere from 20 to 5 miles, we're just gonna ignore this for now. And then after we go ahead and click next, now we're gonna set up the ad groups. So this is going to be a list of keywords that we tell Google, hey, these are the best. When someone types in this word, we want you to show our ad. So I'll kind of go ahead and copy and paste what I usually do and kind of explain why here in a second. Alrighty, so a couple things that we did here. These are the keywords that we chose for this campaign here. A couple things with keywords, there's something called match types. And so depending on how you type the word into this space, if you will, depends on essentially the flexibility you give Google when it comes to showing your ad. So for example, there is, like if we were to type in plus implants, that means whenever someone types in the word implants anywhere in the search, it could come up. So someone could type in, for example, breast implants, and this would show our ad. So with our match type of either using parentheses or brackets, we're really limiting Google on how they can show our ads. So this is what we found to be just some of the best keywords. Keep it pretty simple. Obviously, dental implants, kind of leaving no room for Google to to show it anywhere else. Down here for the ad, and so this is kind of our go-to here. I need to obviously edit some of these, but for most of these, what Google does, it kind of finds which headline is going to be the best, and then from there, so let's say it finds people really respond to this headline, it's going to keep that, and then find the next best one, it's going to put that. So it kind of gives Google the ability to find the best headline. So you really want to make sure you have enough of that here. For descriptions, really similar. Now, unfortunately, you can only do 4 descriptions. So what we usually do is 2 ads for every ad group. Because we have another set of descriptions that we like to play around with, if you will. And so from here, another thing that we really want to do is add site link extensions. Because we don't have the page, because it's hard to get there from this page, I'll just kind of explain how to do it. So with callouts, essentially what that is at the bottom of the ad, there's going to be, for example, it's going to say like schedule today, or we accept most insurances, just something really basic at the very end of the description. Another thing to keep in mind about Google Ads is you really want to take up as much space as possible. So we're going to max out all the different callouts here, as well as the site links that I will get to here in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and put in our site links, and then I'll explain what the callouts are here. Alrighty, so a couple more things. These were some of the callouts that I added. I like to add callouts after we publish the ad. It's more of a preference thing, so we might do that here in a second. But just kind of wanted to explain some of these other types of extensions. Biggest ones by far are calls. So adding a phone number. You really want this to be your tracking number. So adding the Go High Level tracking number here as a call extension, that would be great. And then I don't do lead forms. We haven't had much success with adding a lead form as an extension to this, as well as apps. So those are really the biggest ones: calls, the callouts, and then the site links. So site links, we can add this after we get the landing page completely finished. But essentially what we do is we kind of give a brief description of like what's on the page. So for example, we have a implant video explaining the process. So we have like implant video, and it's like watch this to understand the different treatment options. And then the final URL is going to be the page, as well as, I believe they call it a slug. So it's a type, or excuse me, an anchor at the end. So it's going to be like the URL, hashtag, and then a little number. And you can actually find that number in Go High Level. If you click on the section and go to the left-hand side, there is an option to copy and paste that section number. And what it does, I'm sure you've experienced this, you click on a link and then it goes to, it like loads the page and then immediately scrolls down to where that thing is. So that's a lot like what would happen if someone were to click on one of those links there. But we will get that set up when we have the landing page totally sorted out. Again, this is more down the line. This is more very advanced stuff. But in terms of just getting the ad off the ground, this is the best way to do it. So now that we're finished here, let's just cross our T's and dot our I's. We have all that. We have a final URL. I'm just going to put in a placeholder for the URL so we don't get an error. And then obviously this is going to be a pause, so we're not running any traffic. But I just wanted to show you kind of how to set this up. So let's go ahead and move on. Perfect. And then as for the budget, this is what we've seen. It's really something to experiment with. Essentially, when you put a daily budget, multiply that by 30, Google won't go over that total number for the 30-day period, if you will. So it really just depends on what your budget is. I just kind of set it, obviously depending on what the client wants. For a placeholder, we'll just put 20 and we'll continue to move on. If you have any questions over budgets or how some of this works, just let me know. But as you can see, recommended, this is our average daily budget recommended by good old Google. So again, want to be careful on what you say yes to when Google suggests it. So let's move on. Perfect. And then this is going to allow us just to make one more quick look over everything and then add more keywords. Yes, Google would like that. Again, because they would want us to add a broad match for implants so that they can show it to people that are looking for breast implants. But we're not going to do that. So let's go ahead and publish the campaign. Perfect. So, and then to pause and add what we're going to do, or excuse me, a campaign. See how that's green? We're just going to go to overview, make sure it's for everything and not just that ad group. And then we're going to go ahead and hit pause. Boom. And then once that's paused, that's not going to run. So that's kind of the basic overview of creating a campaign. One thing that you could do, I know I did label this implant, but you can actually create an Invisalign ad group or do the different services in this one campaign. Some people do that, some people don't. It really just depends on preference. To keep things really, really simple and organized for your sake, I would suggest just doing ad groups as the different services. So this is implants. And then you can go ahead and add the different services that you would like to offer down here. That's kind of, again, the basic overview. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. In terms of actually finding where everything is, this is going to be our campaign there. Ad groups, this is where we have an ad groups. They hold all the keywords. So we can see kind of what keywords are down here, which ones are doing well, find the ads over here, and should be good to go. Let me go ahead and make sure that I covered everything. Excellent. And then one more thing I do want to mention, Google actually changed the word extension to assets. If you ever get confused, you can just type in extension and it will just bring you to this page here. So like I said, these are all the different ones that we did setting it up. A couple things that I would add. You want to add the call, so the ability for people just to call you directly. I would add the Go High Level tracking number. That would be very important. And next thing to do is add the site link extensions. When we finish the landing page, I can go ahead and show you how to do that after that. But in terms of homework, what I was just doing is setting up a different ad group for the different, another service that you would like. If that's Invisalign, if that's something else, then go ahead and just click create ad group, and then it's going to bring you right back to the page that we were on for setting up the keywords that you would put here, and then creating the ad, which is going to look just like the page that we were on last time. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Dr. Bin, let me know if you have any other questions, and excited to see where this goes.